Rejoice with me. Today will be a joyful day, and to welcome this beautiful day. Welcome this beautiful day. Welcome this beautiful day. Today will be a joyful day, and to rejoice and come in.
Good morning, and welcome to UUCC, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Canandaigua. We are a group of spiritual freethinkers who gather to celebrate life, build community, and better the world. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. I'm Karen Alvarez, your worship associate for this morning, and the facilitator for our Justice Sunday Simple Service. This Sunday will be a bit different than our usual format. You will have time for everyone to stay for a presentation and discussion with our special guests, who are members of the FLX Justice Partnership, our service partner for this season. Thank you to everyone on this morning's worship team, also including music by Bill Mills and Children's Church for Children 3 and Over by Nancy Reed and IMS. If this is your first visit, welcome. We invite you to sign and visit this book in the entryway. And whether it's your first visit or your 1,000th, we're glad you came. This service is also being live streamed to our YouTube channel, and we will plan to end it and then start a second stream for the presentation so that it has its own video. We will plan on continuing with hybrid worship services, so you can join us each week here in person, on Zoom, or later on YouTube. To help us connect better with our friends watching from home, please turn around and give a wave to the camera. I have a few announcements to share with you today. If you have a joy or sorrow, please fill out the card on your chair. We invite you to bring them forward and place them in the basket. And place them in the basket. After Bill rings the chimes and begins to play. You can also come forward to drop a pebble in the water at that time if you have a joy or sorrow that you prefer not to share. The Social Environmental Justice Committee meeting kickoff is next Sunday, September 28th, directly following the service. It will last at least an hour, but we'll be done by noon. The service will be a little shorter and childcare will be extended. Yes.
And we're going to have snacks. But it'd be great if I knew how many people were coming so I know how much to buy.
I'm coming.
One. Thanks.
No problem. So we hope you will decide to stay and participate. I hope the snacks help. Social justice is a foundational component of our faith and a giant topic. We will gather to talk about faith-based social justice, the priorities articulated by our governing bodies, the UUA and the NYUUJ, our community partners, and our church board. And we're going to generate ideas for the 2025-2026 program year. The SEJ committee will provide hearty snacks. It's already there. So we'll be having things like hummus, cheese and crackers, fruit, not a heavy meal, snacks. So please bring your own beverage. There will be coffee and tea as usual. Please join us on Sunday, October 5th, for a presentation by Drew Valonis on scams, what they look like, how they work, and how to protect yourself. The presentation will immediately follow the service. It will be live streamed and also available on our Zoom channel. Are there any other announcements for the good of the community?
This is another reminder to start making your handmade crafts for our holiday table. And we are gonna use the next two second Sundays to be BYO craft. So if you have stuff that's not finished that you want to have ready for the handmade table, I think it's October 9th and November 12th, but whatever those second Sundays are, after we eat, we'll be in here and crafting. Thank you, Lova, for the claps.
It's all good. We've got all morning.
And the fundraising team has decided we're going to do trunk or treat again. So if people would like to donate their trunk and open it up and decorate it, let me know. We're looking for at least 5 people. Thanks.
And Jody has one that she'll say over the speakers.
Okay.
If you want to invite her so she knows. Can you say Jody?
Jody, if you have an announcement, please speak now.
Okay, on behalf of the New York State Convention of Universalists, I would like to cordially invite the congregation to our annual meeting, which will be held October 24th and 25th at the congregation in Canton. We will both be celebrating our bicentennials, 200 years, both at Canton and for NISCU. If you need more information, well, it's going to be in the newsletter. I'm going to email this to Scarlett too. So this will be in the newsletter too. So if you need more information, make sure you read your newsletter. Thank you.
Thank you. As we prepare to be fully together, I remind you to silence your phones and devices. And we now enter a space of worship. So please bring forward any joys and sorrows and drop a pebble if that is what you're moved to do. I think I'm going to put Lova in charge of new members and outreach. She's very, very good at making people feel welcome. I invite you to join with me in our chalice lighting words, as we light the chalice. We gather this hour
as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together.
There's a lot of back and forth over here today. And now we would like to offer for a volunteer to come up and help to spin the season wheel. Paulo, are you interested? If not, we can defer to the welcoming committee. Sure, Lova and Paulo can both come.
And while they do, we are going to be singing together the words that will be on the screen to welcome fall, which is hymn number 73 in the big hymnal, if you would like to read it there.
Perfect.
Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Summertime has turned the star
Thank you all for being here today and to help create the kind of community that forms meaningful partnerships with others. It is by coming together that we can all find strength and joy. Please rise as you are able, in body or in spirit, and join in our first hymn, number 134, in the gray hymnal, Our World is One World.
Our world is one world. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rain that falls. Our world is one world. The thoughts we think affect us all. The way we build our attitudes, the love and faith we make, the bridge for all. Our world is one world. Its ways of wealth affect us all. The way we spend our way we share, who are the rich or poor, who stand or fall. Our world is one world, just like a ship that bears us all. Where fear and greed make many holes, but where our hearts can hear a different call.
Now is the time in our service to join together in the spiritual practice of generosity. Our gifts of both time and money support our church in its work. Each week, we would like to spotlight a group or committee and thank them for their gift of time. On these Justice Sundays, we would like to thank you all for being the kind of community that comes together to better the world and for bringing your sense of curiosity and adventure to new projects and learning more about the good others do in this world. 1/4 of our plate collection for the harvest season will go to our service partners, Finger Lakes Justice Partnership. Finger Lakes Justice Partnership helps weave together the efforts of the region's diverse justice-seeking individuals, organizations, and institutions. Through advocacy for members of historically marginalized groups of all kinds, they work to move the Finger Lakes away from passive acquiescence to injustice and toward an active embrace of anti-racism, community building, mutual aid, and understanding. You can give to this morning's offering by placing cash or a check into the basket or by one of the options on the screen. Please make a note that your gift is intended for today's offering. We now gratefully accept the offering.
Ours is no caravan of despair.
So we have all joys today. Carrie and Terrell want to talk about the heartfelt thanks for everyone's help with their wonderful wedding that was here yesterday. Kaya is expressing joy to have gotten to see her brother, sister-in-law, and her sister for the past 2 days, along with their pack of dogs, and everything's better with dogs. It's true. Dorothy is expressing joy today for the opportunity to see Matt and Whitney and Juniper, and who are adjusting to life with William, their second child. Also, life better with babies. Apparently it's Peter's birthday and there's going to be a party, so that's awesome. And Abby is holding joy for the lovely flowers and other blossoms that came from her neighbor's garden and were shared here for Carrie's wedding. Please take a jar if you can enjoy them for the next week or so. So thank you. I will now drop a stone into the water for these and all the other joys and sorrows left in our heart. Whatever is with you, please know we are with you. At this point, if any children, I don't see any children that are going downstairs, but we could skip that part. So please take a moment to settle into your seats, take a deep breath, feel the ground beneath your feet, let your eyes rest easily or close them if you feel comfortable, and we will join together for some shared silence. Ish.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Giving life the shape of justice, whose holy thoughts wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
After we extinguish our chalice to close our worship service this morning, we hope that you will all take a few minutes to stretch, maybe grab a cup of tea or coffee, and come back to make yourself comfortable in a spot where you can easily see the monitor for the presentation. In this time of turmoil, finding hope is an important form of resistance. Please join me now in singing our closing hymn, number 151, in the gray hymnal, I Wish I Knew How. Please join me in our words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. dump that I had to do to get a basket. So I figured I'd fix it.
Okay. Is it okay if I tell people to start getting settled? I don't think we have our little sound anymore because of the kids. Okay, everybody. Think about getting settled back in your seats. We're going to be starting in just a minute. So get comfortable. And we will have more time to chat with each other after. So there's at least one poster. Oh, people are hiding things. Good stuff up here next to there. There was just a little dumping of things from a basket.
When I needed the basket, I had to dump everything.
And I will give you this fancy piece of paper for your mug.
Yes. I don't want to like.
Step on Karen.
I can finish this up later.
Totally fine.
That's a good question.
Make yourselves comfortable.
The most appropriate, because you could just sit next to me for moral support.
Yeah, I can stay up here.
Okay, everybody, come on back.
There's a queue by the coffee machine.
And when you feel like things seem sufficiently settled, start talking and they'll follow.
Okay, I'm gonna just give it like another minute. I don't want anyone to rush. With like mugs of hot coffee.
Safety first.
Thank you. We're not going to talk about it, but it's Party for Socialism and Liberation. They have a Finger Lakes chapter, and they were selling these at Naples Pride. Yeah. They do a lot of really excellent work. But I think we have time for like talking later, so if you want, I can tell you more about the work that PSL does, yeah. And I'm sorry I have my phone here. It's my notes. I didn't print out on paper like I should have. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about what we do. We're the Finger Lakes Justice Partnership. Myself and Peter, so I'm Charlie Damahidi, and Peter are members of the Planning Committee. Our mission statement was read already, so I'm just going to very quickly, I had in my notes to like read the mission statement, but I'm not going to repeat that. But just know that very broadly, we are a kind of an umbrella organization, and we have a lot of different things that we do under that, which I'm going to go through and talk about. But our primary goal is just to be a hub, a collection of information where different agencies that do social justice work in the Finger Lakes can kind of come together, and we can then share that information with all of you in the community. I would like to tell you a little bit about some of the initiatives that we have as the Finger Lakes Justice Partnership. So the first one, this is, I would say, fairly recent. We've started doing a monthly community meal. and that's out of St. Mark's Episcopal Church in Penn Yan. They have been graciously hosting us and a lot of our events for many years. So at the community meal, people can come and partake, and then we do some programming afterwards, and no one's obligated to stay. Some people just leave, but we typically try and do themed programming. We have an agency or different individuals that come and give a short presentation, and we also have an action table in the back that's themed around whatever, again, that month's theme is, of like tangible small actions that people can do, because we recognize that sometimes it can feel very like helpless, and you don't necessarily know what direct actions you can take, or you might feel daunted by like how overwhelming things seem. So we have kind of like really quick, easy things that people can do pertaining to that theme, so they feel like, okay, I'm gonna go home and just do this quick thing and I've made a difference. Because as we all know, it's sometimes a lot of small actions in a collection is what makes the difference. It's not just like one huge thing once, it's a lot of small things consistently. So that's our community meal. This month is, I believe, the theme is education. And I'm gonna talk about our justice rallies. So this is basically every month we also have a theme, and we go in Penn Yan, where the old courthouse is, and we make signs, and we just sit there, and people drive by, and we wave to them, and we display our signs. And this month it was also education, so it was a lot of signage showing support for educators, K through 12, higher ed, because they've been getting a lot of heat, especially in the last couple months. So we wanted to visibly and outwardly demonstrate our support for them and all of the work that they do for our children and our communities. And so along with that, that will be the theme of the community meal. We'll have our meal. It's a burrito bar this month. So if that's enticing, we'd love to have you. And then afterwards, we will have a panel of educators from different arenas of education talking a little bit about how they're responding to some of the policy and public backlash, I guess you'd say, against education. So I did mention the justice rallies. So those are fun. Our attendance varies based on what the theme is, maybe what the outside temperature is, and it's good. Sometimes people walk by. We've had interactions. We've met a lot of new people from the area who just kind of see that we're there, and they're like, "What's this about?" And then we're like, "Let us tell you." And that's nice. Sometimes we get a little not as good feedback from people driving, and that's also really instructive and important to know. So gives us a picture of what the atmosphere of our community is like. So both positive and negative feedback sometimes gives us a picture. And then the community meal, the newsletter. So we have copies of our newsletters on our table in the back there. This is a weekly newsletter that gets updated every single week, and we feature justice-related events, I would say from Rochester down to Ithaca. So we try and get a robust collection of different events that our groups that we're in touch with are doing. Obviously, our Yates County feature the most prominently, but we do try and have every week we have different people who are like keeping an eye on different things, and then they post the events, and then we put them in our newsletter. We also have a really good group of people on our writing team who write original content. So every week there is something that has been produced by our writing team. We share good news in the newsletter. We do a take action piece. So again, something that you could take away and say, this week I can do this thing. So shout out to the writing team for doing that. So we have last week's newsletter there. The one for this week is going to be produced today by me. So obviously I'm here, so I can't do it. We were like, oh, should we try and get them done in time so we can bring the this week's in the morning, and then it was like a bit hectic. So apologies for that, but we have last week's. It's got some really good stuff in it. Anything else about the newsletter, I should say?
Do you want to mention that one of them is the column from the newspaper?
Right, so do you want to say that about that?
Okay.
Okay, so Peter's going to just quickly jump in because he's on the writing team.
So one of the, we typically have a feature in the newsletter that rotates, and one of the weeks in the month is featured the letter to the editor that we wrote for the newspaper, which we write once a month. So we publish that in the newsletter as well, in case folks don't get the newspaper. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
It's just, oh, good question. It's, at the moment, we are,
Finger Lake Times?
no, Chronicle Express
The
in
Chronicle
Pinyan.
Express.
But we, Charlie will mention a little bit about our planning team.
Yes.
But we're trying to extend and get folks that have connections with like Finger Lakes Times, other papers that we can sort of have more presence in, you know,
Expand our reach.
expand our reach and the writing team.
Can you tell us how to sign up for the newsletter? Because I share out the newsletter with our social justice committee folks, but not everybody gets that.
Okay, perfect. Yes, so I do have that on my to-do list as well, but very easiest way is there's a sign-up sheet taped to that table there, and there's a pen. So if you put your email, you can tell us you want to sign up for the newsletter. We also have more specific email lists. So like, for example, if you're interested in our LGBTQ advocacy work, you can mark a check next to that, and you will also be included in that mailing list. So when we're doing our LGBTQ specific events, you will also be informed of that. But yes, so there's a sign-up sheet there. You're welcome to fill it out. We would love it if you do. So yeah, about our writing team, again, we're trying to build our presence in the community and also increase our advocacy efforts through writing letters to the editor, and that has been very, I think, successful. Yeah, and we'd love for other people to take that on in their own communities. We can talk about like how you can do that. Yeah, because then different types of people get the newspaper that might not be signed up for our newsletter. Yes?
And we do have a plan to post the newsletter here at Church Weekly near our announcements on the same board. So if you're not on the list, you can find it there. And if there are questions that like are a little bit longer, if you could do your best to repeat them, because there's a couple people still watching them too.
Okay. So you asked about signing up for the newsletter, and I think, okay, if anyone has questions, I will repeat your question for the audio. So the last thing that we're doing that I want to talk about for FLXJP is the Safe and Beautiful for All campaign. So I will just say a very quick thing about this. It is a social media campaign. The goal of this is to highlight some of the anti-LGBTQ rhetoric that exists within the communities in the Finger Lakes. There seems to be among some people this idea that the Finger Lakes is safe and beautiful for all, but again, some of us from marginalized backgrounds obviously know that that's not the case. And so our intention with this campaign is to shine a light on that, but like in a productive way. And so we're gonna have every 2 weeks, I believe, different stories that people can write in and say, this thing happened to me on Main Street, or things from like the larger news that are relevant to the area, and then some action things that you could do. And then we're gonna have a large community forum 1 year from when the campaign starts, just to see how we feel about it. Was it productive? Was it not productive? So some of the goals of that are just to, some people just don't realize that discrimination is so prevalent in our Finger Lakes communities. So just want to say very gently, hey, it's not safe and beautiful for all. Okay, so now this is the ask piece. We really need more help with all of the things that we're doing. In FLX JP, we have 3 committees. We have a media team, we have an action and outreach team, and a fundraising team. So if any of these things call out to you, we would love help in all of these arenas. Yeah, it's a lot of work to kind of do all the things that we're doing. So if you're interested, we'd love to have you. If you want to like come to some events, come to some of the meetings that these committees have, just to get a feel for what it's like, and see if it's for you, or maybe if it's too big of a commitment for you right now. We'd love to have you either way. Also, there is a member from the area, from Farmington, already on our planning team. So if you would like to connect with someone who's more local to this area, Tara Rice is our person, and our intention again is to try and expand the reach and the work that we're doing. Hopefully Tara's like placed very strategically. If you want to expand the Canandaigua contingent of FLX JP, yeah, there is a person locally that you can connect with to do that. Okay, how's time? Good, still good? Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is, so FLX JP, as I said, picture it as an umbrella. Now I'm going to talk about all of the things under the umbrella that we do in addition to all of the other advocacy work. We have progressive prepping. So what this is, generally when people think of prepping, if you've encountered that concept, it's just people like kind of closing off in like bunkers by themselves with like their supplies. And the concept of progressive prepping is, instead of going inward, it's to go outward. So it's building community resiliency in the event of some sort of disruption, whether that is natural disaster, weather related, you know, some other perhaps government related disruption. We just want to increase our strength as a community so that we can respond effectively and protect everyone. So with progressive prepping, we have meetings every month. They're also themed. Some of the things that we've talked about is like agricultural methods, how to build a Wi-Fi mesh network to maintain connectivity if there's like power outages. We've talked about potentially grassroots healthcare initiatives so that people can get access to medical support in the event of, you know, access disruptions, things like that. So these are some of the topics that we're brainstorming, throwing ideas around, again, in an effort to make sure as a community we're stronger and able to respond more effectively. The one thing I'll say about progressive prepping, we have, yes?
I can add that I attend those sessions pretty regularly, and I'm on the health committee and the community organizing committees that were born from progressive prepping. So if anyone has questions, there's a familiar face to come talk to you about it.
So Abby, for the viewers at home, Abby has identified as someone who has attended progressive prepping and is interested in the healthcare related elements of that. So if you have direct questions, you may reach out to Abby to learn more. Is that? Yeah. Okay, perfect. So the one thing I'll say about progressive prepping, we have a Skillshare initiative. So this is like every month, one person from the community, we have like this event where people just share their skills. So we just had one yesterday where we learned about gluten-free quick breads. There's been several on gluten-free cooking. Much enthusiasm for gluten-free cooking. We've had different fibercraft related ones. I do an automotive maintenance one, like automotive maintenance for beginners. There's like origami ones. So it's basically just, I have a skill, people could benefit from it, let's learn it together. And again, some of these skills are recreational, but some are incredibly useful. So we just want to make the community stronger by sharing these skills with them. Yes, Peter's going to switch off to, that's all I'll say about progressive prepping. Peter's going to take it with Cuca Compass. Perfect.
Thanks. Okay. Hi, I'm Peter. And as part of that umbrella of FLX JP, we have programs and events under something that we call Cuca Compass. It's our LGBTQIA plus group. We're based in Pinyan. We started it back in 2017 with a partnership at St. Mark's Episcopal Church, where there was some programming presenting an educational panel about trans experiences. And since then, we've sort of expanded from that. So I just want to say it's a group that's focused on LGBTQ plus issues, and all are welcome. So allies, community members that just want to learn more, you're welcome and encouraged to join. You may not think that those topics apply to you, but allies and really comrades we need in the community right now. So please feel like you are welcome to join. So let me give you a rundown of some of the events that we have. We do have a list of our regular events in the back there, because this is a lot to remember, I realize. So there are 4 events which happen monthly. First is our ABC learning event. So this is the second Tuesday of each month at 7 at St. Mark's Episcopal Church in Pinyan, and virtually. We have folks that attend from all over the region, up in Rochester, so you're welcome if virtual is better for you. And this is, I like to refer to this as our teach-in session. So it's an opportunity to gather and learn about a topic that's affecting the LGBT community. So sometimes we have guest speakers and other presentations on history, local resources, and we sort of have a presentation and then we discuss it as a group. This coming month's meeting is October 14th, and we'll be discussing archiving queer history, and that's about the ways that queer history has been collected and preserved by archives. We'll touch on how communities can create archives which reflect their experiences. We'll talk about oral history and delve into all of the areas that the conversation, wherever the conversation takes us with that. And let's see. I think that's all I have to say about that one. Okay, so the second monthly meeting we have is our game day. It's the second Sundays of the month at Lionsmith Brewery in Pinyan, starting at 2. And this is a lot of fun. We invite folks to bring board games. It's just a time to sort of relax, build community, and learn a new game, maybe if you are interested in that. So our next one is October 12th at 1 p.m. Then we have our monthly coffee hour social gathering. So, just like learning stuff with the ABC session, learning about the issues that affect the LGBT community is important. It's also important to relax and build community just by, sharing space, sharing community. So we try to focus a mix on the social and the sort of educational and activism side. So that social gathering is 4th Saturdays at Millie's Pantry in Pinyan. And so the next one is on September 27th, coming up. And then we have our Pathways Walking Group, which is the 4th Saturdays, that same day as our social event. So it's, if you're not sure about getting to Pinyan, it's nice that we have 2 events the same day. You could spend your whole day there and, split it between the 2. So that's our generally leisurely sort of hour-long walk that we do. We go around to different trails. We're actually going to the Ontario Pathways Stanley Trailhead this month, so a little bit not as far to travel if you're worried about, going all the way to Pinyan. But that's the next one is coming up on the 27th. Yes, and that's our seasonal program. So we will probably after October, we'll probably taper that off and start again when the weather is, favorable and as coming towards the spring. And then we have two events that alternate months. So our first is a film night, which is the second Fridays of even-numbered months. So our next one is October 10th. And, we'll probably watch a Halloween-themed film. Somebody mentioned the Rocky Horror Show. I don't know if that's where we'll go or we'll go something somewhere else. But it's a fun event. And then my little baby, alternating months, is the Cuca Compass Book Club. So that's the third Tuesdays of odd months. So our next one is in November. I think it's November 18th. Having it every other month, we feel like it gives people an opportunity to take their time to read the book, and it's a little more relaxed that way. Sometimes we get donations and we're able to buy copies of the book, so if folks aren't able to find them, we can share the book out. This year we've read things like Genderqueer by Maya Kobabe. We read last month a collection, or this past, I guess we just met this past Tuesday. We've read a fiction and poetry collection called Queer Little Monsters. We've read Miss Major Speaks by Miss Major Griffin Gracie and The Stonewall Reader. So we try to get a mix of genres, and going forward, we're trying to have more input about maybe voting on what books we're reading so that folks feel like it's their book club. That's really important to us. And so in November, we're reading All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, which is the second most banned book in the United States in the past several years. We feel like it's, this year particularly, we wanted to feature several books that were traditionally banned or have been a focus of book banning in the past couple of years. So that's about it for Cuca Compass. One thing that's sort of adjacent is our, what are we committing to the trans campaign? Yeah. So we have these signs. This says, "This home supports trans lives." And so you can take some of these, they're in the back of the table. If you are interested, you could put it in your window at a home. We also have businesses that have taken the signs. I'm not sure if, do they? So I think you have one here, actually. Yeah. And then, if you know folks that own a business and might be interested, they can take one. It says, I don't know if it says this business, but it says something slightly different. We support, yeah, there you go. We support our trans neighbors. And so with this campaign, another goal is to sort of have a map of businesses that are supportive, because we feel like it's important to support those that are supporting our trans neighbors. So I think that's it with Cuca Compass. If you have questions, there's more information in the back, or you can approach me after. Do you want to say? Okay.
I know the time is dire. Okay, I will very, very, very quickly talk about the Penyan Action Coalition. So it's an advocacy group that educates the local community about immigrants' rights and migrant and refugee issues. So in 2017 in Penyan, there was like an event where very much loved migrant worker was deported, and so that kind of spurred people to educate themselves a little bit more about it. The flagship event of the Action Coalition is the yearly community read. So we're in the process of picking the book for this year. Last year's community read was so wildly successful. We read Immigrant, and the author actually came to Penn. We were able to logistically organize that, and yeah, and that was incredibly fabulous and amazing. We're trying to extend the reach and also continue the momentum by having other events. And so the most recent one is the 30th is a classic film night, and can you grab my phone? Sorry. I'll tell you what the title is. It's called Storm Center, and it's a movie from the 50s about a librarian, and it's like kind of themed around the Red Scare. And that's 6 p.m. at, surprise, St. Mark's Episcopal Church. So that's good. One other thing, too, that our members are working on is getting legislators and law enforcement to provide written statements that they won't collude with ICE. And so they're in the process of drafting up what letters to legislators will look like, connecting with our local law enforcement agencies, and making sure that we have affirmative confirmation from them that they aren't going to enter into these agreements. So if that is a thing that you maybe want to work on in your area, we would love to work with you and send you all of our documentation that we have if you want to try and do some of that here. Okay, that is all I have. We have a whole bunch of handouts. Sorry. I was like, is that me? No. At our table, so you're welcome to stop by our table and grab flyers, sign up for our newsletters. We do have a couple of things for sale if they appeal to you, but if not, no worries. Okay, that concludes our FLXJP presentation. Thank you again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for having us. We're so grateful. Yay.